Isn't it interesting when you set an intention and then you start noticing everything around you change? Friends change. Friends sometimes leave your life. The interest that you had before, you're not interested anymore, like going out, drinking. All of a sudden, too, the job that was so secure, the relationship that was so secure, isn't secure anymore. And this all comes after you set an intention, made a decision to move in alignment with what you want, sort of visualizing from the end. You're setting in motion your desires, and then now your world is falling apart. Well, this is normal. I experience this too. I experience this every single time I am recreating my life and recreating myself and setting forth a new path, a new desire, a new goal. I always expect things to get a little bit weird on the outside, but it's not really that weird when you really understand what's at play. The way you've been living has been working to get what you want. The way you've been doing things, the way you've been thinking, the way you've been functioning, it's all serving the purpose of having what you want. So when you want something new, what do you think needs to change? You need to change. You need to shift your energy. Your frequency will change. Your decisions will change. The way you perceive yourself, the way you perceive the world around you will shift and change. So I'll give you a little personal story here. When I decided to go all in on learning the game of entrepreneurship, seeking out ways to become a coach, trying to figure out a system, when I went all in on developing my mind to align myself with creating a business for myself, and keep in mind, I knew nothing about this world, zero, zip. There were things that I was doing every single day that I love to do, like training jujitsu, prioritizing other stuff like going out with friends, hanging out, drinking, and, just living that social life. But when I made the decision to go all in, all of a sudden, there were certain things that I realized that this doesn't fit, this doesn't match. Like, I don't enjoy doing this anymore. And one of the things that I stopped enjoying doing was going out. And it wasn't an immediate transition. It was sort of this gradual thing where every single time I was out, every single time I was meeting different people, meeting different women, it just wasn't that appealing to me. I'm like, this is sort of empty. I'm not feeling this anymore. And I started to feel empty inside to the point where every single time I went out or I met someone new or I was out drinking or doing the stuff, whatever, it just like felt like I was drowning. I was wishing that I was back home. So then I wasn't being present. I was kind of coming off negative to people. And then people started calling me out for that, saying, who do you think you are? You think you're too good to be around us now because you're doing this stuff? Like, you don't even enjoy being with us. And so I wasn't being responsible with my energy because I wasn't saying, hey, you know what? I'm committed to this path. And instead of going out, I'm going to stay in. So then I would still go out and then wear this shit face. And I wasn't really being appreciative of being out because I made the decision to go out. I had to get better at communicating, especially when it came time to go out, to meet people, when it came time to like go out on dates. It's like, you know what? I'm busy. I'm up to this thing. I'm doing this thing. I'm busy. And so that was one thing that I started to lose interest in. It was pretty quickly. Like, I know I said it's a gradual process. For different things, it's pretty fast. For certain things, it's a gradual process. It's a learning experience. I realized two things. One is I can't go against myself. When I'm going for what I want, I will feel the intuitive nudge to be in alignment with what I want, taking certain actions, thinking certain thoughts, feeling certain feelings, prioritizing a certain type of lifestyle. And if I go against myself, I'm going to feel like crap. That was one of the major lessons I learned in this. I'm going to feel like crap when I go against myself. Number two, be communicative. Be in communication with the people around me. That was the other lesson. So for you, it'd be the same thing. Be in communication with the people around you. What are you up to? What are you doing? You don't have to share all of your dreams and desires, but you could be intentional. Heads up, I'm not going to go out this weekend. I'm going to stay behind and do X, Y, and Z. Or, you know what? I'm trying to practice just being more with myself. Let's say you're going through a breakup. Let's say you want to take a break from dating and you know that you have to do work on yourself. You know what? I'm not going to go out this weekend. I'm going to spend some time with myself, probably go out to dinner by myself. I don't know, but I'm definitely not going to go out. So when the time comes, don't even let me know. And the reason why I say that, don't even let me know. Don't even invite me. There's obviously better ways you could say that, nicer ways of saying that. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it initiates the old pattern of going out when your friends ask you to go out. And then you're back in the same boat of damn, why did I do this? Why am I going out again? I said I wasn't going to do that. So you end up back in that position of feeling like you're drowning again. So those two major lessons help me stay in alignment with what I wanted to do. So let's get back to what happens when you set your intention and when you start visualizing from the end and you start implementing these things that I'm sharing with you, these tools, because they work. There's quite a few people who have reached out to me who are saying this is working and their attachments are falling off. The security they had is no longer there. Like things are in jeopardy. And this is the best part. So like I said, things will get weird, but it's not that weird when you understand the game. And the game is whenever you declare something new, the old has to fall off. It must fall off. So whenever you declare something new, the old will start to drip away. It'll start to just kind of spread out and go off in different directions. And then all of a sudden you're left with yourself, almost like you're stripped. You're stripped of everything. And so some people might say that's like the dark night of the soul. It's comparable. Whenever you are left with yourself and you're left with your insecurities, you're left with your quote unquote demons, which is really your shadow self, like the shadow selves. So you're left with yourself and you're sitting with yourself and you're like, damn, this is who I am. This is where I want to go, but this is who I am. And I'm drowning in this. This is not okay. And there's a part of the dark night of the soul, if you will, where everybody disappears. There's nobody else around and you're left with yourself. And that happens for a reason because all you really do have is yourself. And we're experiencing the manifestation of what we believe we're worthy of. Relationships we're worthy of, the friends we're worthy of, all of our experiences that we think we're worthy of. That's what's manifesting on the outside. So when we're facing ourselves and facing our insecurities, what do you think happens? Everything disperses because now we're facing the true versions of us that need to be identified, that need to be loved, and sometimes even be rooted out. And the whole process of rooting out is to help you get clear and clean to be in alignment with what you want. So when you start to notice friends drop off, relationships all of a sudden end, the job you had is now in jeopardy, it's uncertain, and let's say resources get low, you are being forced to look at yourself. You're being forced to really check yourself and to ask yourself, is this really what I want? Yeah, this is really what I want. I had a friend recently who had written down that he wanted to move out of his apartment into a new apartment. He wanted to move in, by himself, not have a roommate anymore. And he wanted to have a nicer place. He was living under a slumlord. Literally, that was what he said, a slumlord. And the conditions were so. And after we set this intention up, he got an eviction notice. He's like, he started freaking out. Bro, what the hell? What am I going to do? Like, this is happening. Like, this is like really happening now. I have to figure out a different place to move. I'm like, dude, congrats, man. No, it's not congrats. Bro, you have no idea how stressed out I am. Well, this person also was in a position with his emotions where he didn't really have a good grip over his emotions. He didn't really understand this process. When you do not have control over your emotions, when you don't understand this game, it's really easy to go back to your default patterns of being stressed out and worried and scared. And then all of a sudden you withdraw and you contract and then you freak out. That is the most single detrimental thing that you can do to manifesting what you want. Just what I said. You freak out. What is happening? What's going on? Oh my God, this is not what I asked for. This isn't what I asked for. I mean, just like if you're saying, I want to be in a healthy, wealthy, generous, loving, empathetic relationship. And then all of a sudden your partner's like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. We're done. You're like, wait a minute. That's not what I asked for. I asked for the total opposite. Why am I getting this? Well, maybe your partner isn't capable of that. Well, I didn't tell them that. I didn't say anything to them. This is what I want. No, but energy doesn't lie. This is what you're getting. You're getting an exact match of your intention, of your desires, of your energy. Let's say you're already empathetic. Let's say you're already loving. Let's say you're already being those things that you want in another person. And that person's not a match, nor are they willing to be a match. All of a sudden, they might be inclined to just say, you know what, I'm done, I'm good. Or they do something else and it ends a relationship. Or maybe you arrive to a place where you're like, I don't even want to try anymore. I'm good. And then you end that. Vibration, energy never lies. Never lies. So when you set the intention to move out of a place and you want to create this new life and you new location, have these new things, and all of a sudden you get an eviction notice, bro, you're getting exactly what you asked for. Now you get to figure it out. Now you actually get to use the law of attraction to attract what you want. I want to highlight this one point here. We are here to create. We are here to create. We are not here to attract. And I know I've said this in many of my different other podcasts, in my content. I've been saying this for years. There's levels to this, right? And I'm sharing with you a deeper level. We are not here to attract. We are here to create. On this plane of physical reality, where it is first birthed, physical reality is first birthed in the mental plane, in imagination, we're first using our imagination to create. On the mental plane, it manifests on the physical plane. Manifestation means to experience, means to realize. That's it. So when we're creating in our minds, we're setting forth an intention of what we want. By default, we're utilizing the law of attraction that's already available to us that brings up different opportunities that become visible to us for us to move towards. They don't necessarily move towards us. We move towards that because we're on almost like a conveyor belt of time, moving down the path of time where everything at once is available to us. Whatever we're dialed into, those things become visible. So we're not here to necessarily attract. We're here to create. We're here to create, and when we create through the law of attraction, it becomes visible and we get to go out and grab it. So I'm highlighting this because when I take people through these exercises, they're waiting around for things to happen. Things aren't just going to happen just like that. Yes, you might get an eviction notice. Yes, something might just happen like a breakup. Yes. However, you created it first in your mind. You got clear about it in your mind first. You created it. It didn't just happen to you. So I'm highlighting this because it's very easy to go into the victim role. You don't want to go into the victim role. That's weakness. Why is this happening to me? Everything keeps happening to me. I'm so unlucky. I just think God's against me. No, none of that BS. Let that go. That's not the game that we're playing here. You could play that game if you want, but that's not the game we're playing here. If you're a conscious creator and you're about that life, you understand that there's nothing against you. There's no plots. There's no scheme. You're not being tested. You are a creator. And because you're creating, you're setting forth what you want on the plane, first in the mental plane, but on the playing field, on this plane, and it will pop up and it'll be known to you, and you go out and you pick it out. As you're going down the line, you're picking it out. This is what I want. This is what I want. Boom. You're reaching out and grabbing it through the law of attraction. You can only see it through the law of attraction, but you first have to create it. So I don't want to go into victim mode and start saying that this is happening to us. No, we are creating it. Last point here. When you are experiencing things that are shifting in your reality, the best thing that you could do is remain in gratitude. Even if it looks sideways, even if it's twisted, even if you're going through a breakup or a divorce happens, or all of a sudden you get sick, or all of a sudden you're getting notified that you're not going to be employed here anymore. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you, but I just know that if I feel bad, I'm going to use that negative energy to attract more negative energy. So I can feel bad though, but you know what? I'm going to use this feeling bad to actually create what I want instead. I'm not going to just lay here in my negative feelings, feeling sorry for myself, and then recreate my life from that space. No. So what I'm saying here is that, yeah, you could feel bad, but you use that feeling bad to motivate you to be inspired to create what you really want. Not to stay feeling bad and say, oh, poor me. That's not what we're doing either. So again, the best thing that you could ever do is stay in that moment and that feeling in the presence of gratitude. Man, this sucks, but I'm super grateful that the truth is coming out. I'm super grateful that now I get to figure this out. I'm super grateful that this relationship is ending because I was actually unhappy this whole entire time. Thank you. Thank you. Now what? I don't know, but that's what I want. So now that this is clear, guess what? I'm going to get clearer and clear this energy out, go to work on myself, and I'm going to fucking go out and get what I want. There is no ceiling. Thank you for listening. If this was helpful for you, please subscribe, like, share, whatever. As you know, conscious creators, we are the future. There is no ceiling.